Hi, I'm Russ.
Cameron.
Shane.
Rebecca.
And I'm your DM, Ethan. Welcome to the Venture Forth Holiday Special.
I love it.
All right, thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. This is our Venture Forth Holiday Special. We are going to have a really good time. We've got some questions for the players and for myself, some questions about the characters, diving in a little bit deeper, and a little bit later we're going to have a special guest come on, so you guys are going to want to hang around for that. But first, before we get into any of that, I've got some questions for you guys, just to start things off. We're going to start with Russ over there.
Man. Okay.
Russ.
Yeah.
When was the last time you re-gifted something?
Never, because I never would ever do that.
You're such a gracious person.
Yeah.
Right? You just accept
accept
it.
Yeah, I just accept it.
Never.
I honestly
Not
don't
once.
think I've ever gifted anything. I just feel like I just either use it or,
Just let it rot.
let it rot in the closet. Because I just the feeling of maybe them finding out would deter me from ever doing that.
Well, that's the worst case scenario, right? Is you re-gift something and then they re-gift it and then eventually it gets
back to them and then it's like, I wrote a star on the corner of it, so I know it's yours. You gifted it.
Do you have like a shelf in your closet just for re-gifted items?
Tons of gifts that I never use. Yes, there's a closet.
Second question, can I go check out that shelf?
Right.
Yeah.
Stuff you
I'm
don't
sure there's
want.
some crazy stuff in there for sure.
Never re-gift
Nice.
it.
Is that considered re-gifting if people go shopping in your unused gifts?
Yes.
I think so.
I think so.
I would say so.
Yeah, I'd go
All
with
right.
yes.
Cameron,
Yes.
when you get a gift, and just be totally honest here, is it
will.
really the thought that counts?
I would say that's a complex answer. My honest answer is that it's a complex answer.
Yes.
One, because if they don't tailor the gift based on how they know you, then it isn't just the thought that counts. If they tailor the gift based on like the fact that they thought about you and wanted to give you a gift, period, yeah, then sure, it's the thought that counts. But I do think that there's something about the gift itself that makes it like, how well do you really know this person, right? So that's my answer.
Can I tell a very fast the thought
Yeah,
count
yeah.
story? I think this is so funny. I once was shopping for a gift with one of my girlfriends in high school, and it was with her and her sister. And we were gonna mail it, and they were discussing like which kind of packaging to mail the gift in. And the sister was like being like, we need to buy the premium packaging to mail it. And my girlfriend was like, why? That doesn't make any sense. And the sister was like, it's the thought that counts. I was like, that's not what that means.
That's not at all what
Like,
that
it doesn't mean the thought of spending more money. Like, that doesn't.
Yeah.
But I always thought that was very funny.
That's great. All right. Shane. All right. Have you ever told someone that their present was still in the mail when you hadn't actually gotten it yet?
Never.
Never?
Ever. I'm an incredibly honest person.
It's true.
It's pretty true. I'd say with the way I just said it sounded like it wasn't true, but it is. I am really like, I don't like lying to people. It makes me deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I've never been like, oh, it's in the mail. Sometimes it is in the mail. But I also like, I don't know, I like giving people gifts. So, and I want to like see their faces too. So I haven't ever done that.
His family is super specific about how they handle gifts. Like they hand it to you. I mean, Christmas takes hours. They hand you a gift. They tell you about why they thought about it for you. Then they open it and then they talk about where in the world they got it from.
In my family,
it's, like,
it's the story.
Wow.
It's the story is more important than the gift. Why did you pick this gift for me? Oh, that's such a silly story. Even though I don't like the gift, the story was worth the whole exchange.
It's
Okay.
Those are the kind of thoughts that I
actually
think
like
count.
that.
Yeah.
Those are the
It's
good
a nice
thoughts that
tradition.
count.
Yeah, when you get a story
That's
with a
great.
gift, it is pretty awesome.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
nice.
It means they thought about
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. Rebecca. Have you ever secretly returned a gift for cash or in-store credit?
for sure, and not secretly.
Oh, yeah, you tell the person.
Like,
Yeah.
Hey, by the way.
I don't think that has to be a secret when you're like, it's not like, you shouldn't have to hold on to things that you don't like. You shouldn't have to. And it'll just, like, I'm literally about to do it with a Christmas gift I've already gotten this year. I was like, okay, I don't need any of this stuff, but it's clearly valuable. And there are certain things that I just don't care about that other people really care about, and they think that you're gonna like that.
You're also really hard to shop for. So I think it's like if somebody gets you something, part of that is just like, what am I supposed to get you? Like, just figure it out.
Okay, so it's true. Anything I really want, I just buy myself. So Shane always makes plans of like things he's gonna get me, and I'm like, no, I've already got it for myself.
I write stuff down on my phone, and it just never. Yeah, there's no hope. She gets it before there's any chance.
And I think because like I work at a desk job a lot of times, like there's always all these Christmas gifts that go around at this time of year that 5 other people have also gotten the same gift, and you're just like, so yes, absolutely, I often return gifts.
Nice.
And also, gift receipts are a thing.
They are.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
People get it. You know?
You shouldn't have to hold
Yeah,
on to something
exactly.
just because. I mean,
I should maybe empty out the closet, I guess.
I am also regifting some of the stuff that I got too, because I know people who will appreciate it, even though I will tell them that it's a regift.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the thought that counts, right?
That's a
the thought
good
that counts.
policy. It's
Good
about
policy.
the
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like you could just say that to excuse
To
any
anything.
behavior.
Say that like middle of summer. It's the thought that counts.
It's not the counts.
I'll be like, oh, I got this thing, but I don't want it. Here you go.
All right, so now we have got this incredible board here. We have got 20 different questions here. Different questions for different people, but since we are a D&D podcast, I'm going to be rolling a die over here, and we're going to be picking the questions using that. So I think it's time for the first question.
This is when we get into it. This is when we get into it, y'all. I'm ready.
We got a
real die.
All right, so the first
Real
one,
die.
that is a 6.
Please not
So
be me. Is that me?
let's see. We're pulling the 6
Maybe just hold it.
off of there.
This thing is held
so
together with silly string.
Falls all over the place.
Okay, so I believe this is for Rebecca.
So yeah.
All right. This is for more specifically Olma. Does Olma know anything about her parents? Anything at all
About her parents?
about her parents?
No.
No?
No, Alma doesn't know anything about her parents. So she was dropped off somewhere when she was an infant, like newborn baby. And she was raised high in the mountains, far away from her parents. And so she doesn't actually know who they are, what their names are. She knows nothing about them other than what she's been told by her teachers of, oh, you were dropped off. Like, we took you in.
Then what does she know just about parents in general? Like,
Yeah,
what kind
it's
of
a
like
good question.
What kind of
From a
examples
certain episode. Yeah,
is
like
there-
a solo
yeah.
episode.
Yeah. So she has only ever experienced parenting through teachers and mentors. So she doesn't understand parents in the same way that, I would understand parents. She understands them as like what parents could be, right? So she like, I know. She thinks of them as like this beautiful thing, like these perfect creatures who care and love and like just raise you. And so like when she was at the table with Kale and Stacy and that family dinner, it was everything that she wanted it to be, right? So she saw Kale like be a dad and take care of his children and get them to safety, and like Stacy being so like maternal and kind, and here's a plate of food, and it kind of did encapsulate everything she thinks that parents should be. And she only knows her teachers, her mentors, the adults that she hangs out with and she spends time with and who have taken care of her and loved her, but not that
That's so opposite.
not that
from my
like
story.
beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
so opposite.
so
I'm realizing that now.
instinctively.
It's
Yeah.
Like, wow. Yeah.
And I'm sure parents, I know Rebecca knows that parents aren't always perfect, but like for Alma, parents are always perfect.
Is that the thing, and then like you've never had it, but you just imagine what it could be like. And
Yeah.
it's up on a pedestal. Is that that's a
Oh,
great
it's
term.
totally a
But you know what I
pedestal.
mean?
Like, yeah, it's this like.
And I think
perfect.
so far in the story, every example that she's come across has sort of been that, right?
Like pretty good parents.
It's
have
good,
been like
yeah.
pretty good parents. So she hasn't had any reason to think.
No,
the
because
opposite.
even Angela Nightborn, is that her name? Angela Nightborn from the pub.
Yeah.
She's like, my kids are traveling. And
Here,
Yeah.
here's a
give
little
them-
treat
here's
to
a
give
treat
my.
that you like. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
everything has been like, oh, these are like these parents that really love their children and are so kind.
Yeah.
And I haven't, and even on the like, yeah, sorry, that's
No, I wonder what would
I
happen
wanna-
if you run into parents that were just like, I don't want to say bad, but like,
Lukewarm.
not perfect in your
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Like, how would
Selfish
you,
or, yeah.
how would you
Rationalize that.
deal with that?
I don't know. Yeah.
And the one thing that might not burst the bubble too is that I don't know. I've noticed with parents that they tend to treat people who are not their kids better because they don't know them as well.
Yeah.
So like maybe
Yeah.
that might also be going in the favor of like keeping this
And that keeps
image
it
of
together. Yeah.
Right.
wonderful parents together.
Yeah, and I think also like because Alma is so like such a mess all the time, like and so like
Yeah.
crazy and chaotic, like she has had a lot of people, adults, really like take her under their wing and like really care for her. So she does have, you know, fond relationships, obviously Xavier, fond relationships with adults. But they're not the same. There's still that like, oh, but if I had my mom and dad, if I found them, if I could find them, and so hopefully she does.
We'll see.
And hopefully they're perfect.
Heavy stuff. Oh god.
You
No
know,
pressure if you're out there. with
just be
parents.
perfect.
Yeah.
It's
Not
gonna
that
be
hard. Roll
All right.
better.
I'm gonna roll again. Let's see what our
Speaking
next
of
check
rolling.
can be.
Yeah.
All right, I just rolled a 19.
Ooh.
So let's
that's
see,
spicy,
where's that
spicy.
19 at? I believe this question
high
is going to
roll.
be for Russ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flannel for Flynn.
Here we
For Flynn,
Okay.
why do you collect so many things? And part B is get a life, stop doing things.
So ready for this answer.
Yeah, so I mean, without divulging too much, I mean that's something that he grew up with. You know, just throughout his travels before he decided to be an adventurer, he would pick up things for a significant person in his life when he went on little trips, and coming back, it would be something that he would show, and it would just be like a thing that he got to tell a story and share a story because he would always hear stories when he was a kid. And so that's where that started from. And so now that he's off on this grand adventure of becoming his own man and becoming a sentinel, that's just something that's ingrained, is like pick up trinkets because they'll hold the memory better. If you have like a physical object, if you have something you can look at and be like, right, I remember this. You know,
So
I
it
remember
kind of
this.
is the thought that counts.
But why acorns? But why acorns? Like,
Well, yeah,
I
I mean,
understand the little mannequin
acorns
toys that you
there's
are-
not
buy,
always a
but, like,
postcard. There's not always a stamp or a shot glass that you can get.
Well,
so
that
like,
one's covered
didn't
in
you-
elf
But
blood.
But didn't
so
you
it's
have like
fine.
a necklace made there too? Like you
I
didn't
did.
need the acorn.
I think that you know, I try and get more is better than not, because like had I not gotten the necklace, I would, because like that's something that's always in my mind, which I don't know if shows up in the podcast, but I'm always thinking like, can I get a souvenir here? Is this something? Because it's also just something fun for me to do. Like I like trying to figure out a cool souvenir because I don't want to put it on our DM to like, hey, what souvenir did you come up with?
Yeah.
Right.
So like I'm always thinking like, okay,
Right.
well maybe I can pick up like an acorn, or maybe I can have some kind of like cool necklaces made, and you know, yeah. And I think that it's fun for me to do as a player because I've never really done that. Is like try and pick up trinkets, but it's also something that fits into his story because yeah, it was.
It's funny how that extends into the Iron Light, where it's like instead of a trinket, it becomes the head of a beast, right? But it's
Yeah.
still the same basic
you're right.
concept, kind of applied
I'm
more
still
violently.
yeah, yeah. I think. Yeah, there's a weird parallel for that. I didn't even think about it, but yeah.
I also totally get that it doesn't necessarily have to be like a shiny, valuable thing. Like that aspect of Flynn kind of reminds me of that guy in Saving Private Ryan who like gets the different dirt or sand from each continent.
Yeah,
that he's fought
exactly.
on.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that he has that attached to that memory and he labels them like Africa or this is like Western Europe.
Yeah, France
or
and all
like,
that stuff.
Right.
and it's got to be heavy. Like he's carrying like dirt from all of these different continents. But it's this. I feel like it's a similar kind of thing with Flynn. It's like it doesn't matter what it is exactly. It's
Yeah.
like what I'm associating with it.
As
cause
long
and
as
effect.
it gets the memory going.
Jogged,
and-
yeah.
Yeah, like going back to the acorn, like the acorn doesn't have to have inscribed on it
No.
when you were there, what the place was. Because when you
Right.
see the acorn, you then recognize, oh, that was from this time, this place, and I can tell that story. And so it's almost more for you after the fact.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I pull out the Cold Crest stamp, I know that that's where my adventure began. You know, just from pulling it out and looking
cool.
at it. You know, same with the acorn, same with the necklace, same with the hand. And I could go on. but I won't.
All of it. All of
Your
it.
bag is just
It's full of goodies.
Full of stuff.
That's the closet.
Nonsense.
That's the
That's the
closet.
closet.
That's Flynn's
There
closet.
it is.
That's Flynn's closet.
There it is.